The Voice Chameleon, lending a voice to those whom demand to be heard. Hey, what's up, guys? D back with another Tuesday tip here on February 5th, 2019. So, in the month of February for these videos, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to take people through an honest journey of what it's really like and what it takes to have a career as a voice talent. And I'm not going to feed you a bunch of pipe dreams and nonsense with rainbows and a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. I'm going to give you some harsh truths. And I think that's something that often is lacking when people seek out some insight into the world of voiceover. And so I just want to take you through a journey for the next 4 weeks. So I'm just going to do this for February, and hopefully it'll help a lot of people who are thinking about diving into this business, who maybe have already taken some steps towards starting their career, or those who are just curious about it. So, number one, I want to tell you guys that one thing you have to be comfortable with is sales and marketing. This is a sales job. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's the truth. You are constantly selling yourself, you're constantly marketing yourself. You will cold call, you will cold email, you will prospect, you will do all those things that a salesperson does. So if you're not comfortable with doing that stuff, or you don't believe that you could become comfortable with doing that stuff, then voiceover is probably not the career path for you. But if you're cool with that stuff, then be prepared to bust your tail for a long time and little money, at least in the initial stages. There are some folks out there that sell the voiceover dream, and they make a lot of money doing it. They're not necessarily making a career out of voiceover themselves anymore. They're making a bunch of money by selling people like you and me on this idea that you can become rich doing this in a short amount of time. Now, I personally don't know anybody that has made a couple $100,000 in their first year doing voiceover, especially people who have no background in it or background in any related business. Like for me personally, I did copywriting and copy editing for a marketing company right out of college. Then I spent 14 years as a broadcaster, so I had a good amount of experience with a lot of things that are related to voiceover. As a matter of fact, the early part of my voiceover career was doing commercials for a lot of the stations I worked at, for a lot of clients all over, whether it be locally or nationally. So that gave me a nice idea of some of the things that I needed to know going into this. However, the thing I didn't know going into this is how much rejection there is. Again, this is a sales job, so like with sales, you will be rejected far more times than you will be accepted. You're going to audition and audition and audition, and at first, you're not going to land very many of those. You might do 100 auditions and get one. The amount of time you spend on all those auditions versus what you make from the one you finally land will probably not seem worth it to you at first. So this is another one of those reasons why 90+% of people that pursue a career in voiceover quit within 6 months, and definitely a lot more in less than a year. So what you have to prepare yourself for is all the things that go into making this career successful for you. It's not going to happen overnight. Some of the best people in this business I know, it took them 6, 7, 8, 10 years to start really raking in money. Me personally, I do a lot of other stuff besides voiceover, which is why the Voice Chameleon is kind of a business on its own. It's not just my voiceover business, it's an audio production business. I coach podcasters. I help out with the production of podcasts. I do a lot of audio production. That's probably where about 65% of my revenue comes in from this business, and the rest of it is voice work. Now, I know that based on my track record thus far from doing this full time 3 years ago, I will continue to grow this thing. In year 3, I made more than twice as much as I made in year 1 and 2 combined. So in year 4, I plan on doubling at least what I made in year 3. And if I continue to stick to the formula of putting in the work of a full-time business, which I've been doing, I spend 40 to 50 hours in the studio every week. I'm not always necessarily recording for clients. I'm often doing auditions, proposals, cold calling, doing all my marketing stuff, updating my website, updating the demos. There's a lot that goes into this. The accounting, scheduling, troubleshooting. You have to really understand the technology. So if you're looking to start, that's what I got to tell you. It's a lot of work for a little reward in the beginning. If you stick with it, it'll pan out for you. But don't get discouraged. And if you're somebody that's expecting to make big bucks real quick, this is not the business for you. So I'm happy to help you along the way and tell you some more of these not so happy truths about the voiceover industry over the course of these next few weeks. So I hope this initial one is helpful and gives you some inkling, and I will check in with you again next week with some more information related to this. In the meantime, I wish you well, and of course, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you're somebody out there who's actually made, 150 grand in your first year as a voice talent, please hit me up, or maybe we can all learn something from you. But for now, I wish you well, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for checking out another video from The Voice Chameleon. I'm D. Alvis, and if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, head on over to thevoicechameleon.com.